Hey everybody, welcome. This is your girl Nell and welcome to Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. I am in the tiny studio. I am out of the hospital. Yes. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God. I'm so happy to be out of the hospital and I'm so happy to be well. I'm sitting in my tiny studio, still under construction. Now remember, I had hopes, high hopes, that the tiny studio assistant Deuce, which is my son Caleb, that he would have my blinds up and my curtains up now. But he's been helping the tiny studio assistant get her room together. We had like a painting party about 3 weeks ago. Has it been 3 weeks? About a month ago, we had a painting party here in my home. And so all my children and my daughter-in-law, future daughter-in-law, came by and we painted the tiny studio assistant's bedroom, right? So then we had to order. She had some things that she wanted for her bed. She wanted a new bed, so we ordered a new frame. And she liked the canopy she liked canopy beds, so she wanted a canopy with the curtains and everything to it. So it took time to get all those things together. Plus, we had new bedding, curtains, rugs, all of those things. And I still there's still some elements of her room that she wants to design, and I still have some things I need to buy for her room. However, it's a work in progress. So the tiny studio assistant Deuce said that he was going to, when he helped her put her bed up and the canopy, that he was going to work on that situation, but he didn't get around to it, and that's okay because he worked so hard. And the fact that I was in the hospital and he had to look after his dad, he was worried about me, so he really didn't have the I can't be mad at him for not putting the curtains up or doing other things. I have one of my pictures up. I'm testing how that looks. I have another picture that I want to put right there as well, but we'll see very soon how that's going to look. We're entering the the winter season, the winter solstice. We're entering all of that, and even though here in Florida it's beautiful outside, no humidity, it's not gray or brown or any of those things that sometimes represent the fall, I still wanted to keep I wanted to keep the tiny studio light and inspirational to me as an artist and as a grad student. So that's why I'm picking colors that make me happy. So the curtains are going to be gray. They were going to be purple, but I decided to put gray curtains up because I have gray furniture here in the tiny studio area behind me. I have gray furniture, so I'm keeping with the theme of gray, but I'm going to be adding some pinks and some purples and maybe a little bit of green here in the tiny studio as well, along with the gray curtains. And there are blackout curtains as well. So I was, vacillating between gray and purple and things like that. But, we'll see. So I want to put another picture up. I don't know. I'm going to try it and see. Right now I'm in the process of trying it out because I have some Grogu things. When my family realized how fascinated I was with Grogu from The Mandalorian, they have purchased me all kinds of Grogu trinkets. So if you can see in this corner right here, I have a Grogu coffee mug. And then if you probably can't see them, but I have a Grogu stuffed doll figure or what have you inside of its carrying case. And then I have a Grogu penny bank, or I was gonna say piggy bank, but it's not a piggy bank. It's just a penny bank. And then I have a Grogu picture that my daughter bought me that I'm going to put up here as well. It used to hang here. I have a Grogu clock that my husband bought me, so I'm going to place that up here somewhere. So it's just going to take some time to get together, and I'm not going to push it. Before I came into the tiny studio, I had my cap on. This is a lock sleeve, a dreadlock sleeve. and I had my hair wrapped up in that because after the hospital, I was in the hospital for 5 days, and my hair was just all over the place. And so when I came home, I, put a nice conditioner in it of oils, and gave myself a hot oil treatment, and I've been keeping it inside of a sleeve because it's been out in the wild for a week. And after I get off the line with you, I'm going to put it back inside the sleeve. And I took my polish off because I was wearing black polish, if you remember. So I took the polish off, and in my fall, I broke some of my nails. Now tell me, ladies, when you break your nails, your natural nails, do you go ahead and cut all the nails off if they have length to them so that they can all grow in together at the same size? Or do you leave, like I have some nails here, like these two nails are long, and I was, thinking maybe since I broke this nail, and oh, my thumbnail is long, and then on this side I broke this one, to keep the uniformity, to keep it, maybe I should cut this nail off and make them all, symmetric to each other. I don't know. Let me know what you would do in that situation. So also here in the tiny studio, I've been trying to, this room is basically a room where my husband and I would like to come in. We watch TV in here from time to time. But most definitely what we do is we relax in here, and we like to participate in different different things of artistry that we like. He likes to collect things. He's a collector of lots of Marvel characters, lions, NFL memorabilia. He likes to collect those things. Of course, we have music in here, so I have CDs, we have DVDs in here, stored in here as well. But the hobby things, the artistry things, we have paint brushes. He likes to paint model boats and planes and things like that. So all those things are in here as well, along with all of my crochet, my yarn. And then I have jewelry items, tools, beads, wires, all kinds of stuff. And then when my business was really, up and going, prior to 2 years ago, I still have like, boxes, mailing boxes, wrapping paper, tape, all of those things that go into packaging items for shipping. So what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to, as I said before, I've been trying to get the home to become calmer for the winter season, and to make things more relaxed and just settled per se. I don't want things to be too busy because I want us to be relaxed. I want us to be calm, serene, and I want us to be reflective during the winter season. And I don't want a whole lot of activity going on aesthetically in our home. So I have a curio. It's not really a curio. It's a unit. And in the unit, I have a television there, and a DVD player, a speaker, music, and all that other stuff, right? And it's like a twofold cabinet. You have the television and entertainment stuff, and then the bottom shelving units is where my husband keeps his hobby supplies, paints, and things like that. And I keep a little bit of yarn. I have so much yarn. The yarn in that curio in that cabinet, that's just, it's just there for show, because really I have yarn all over this room. But I had some blankets stacked on top of that shelving unit, and I decided to take them down, and I have yet to figure out where I'm going to put them because they were beginning to collect dust, and everything that's on top of that unit was dusty. I think we had some bottles of liquor up there as well. We had cards, and I just saw a card on the floor. It was like a card one of my kids bought me. I just saw it on the floor. I just saw it on the floor. I think this is it. Is this it? Yeah, here it is. My mom, my friend. Isn't that cute? Let me see. Let me open it up. This was sitting on top of the curio as well. Oh, look at that. My daughter sent this to me. Isn't that cute? And this is from Mother's Day, but it was probably Mother's Day 3 years ago. Because the curio, on top of that curio, I have all kinds of cards like this from my husband for anniversaries, my children for birthdays, Mother's Day. All of these cards are sitting up there. So I took them down because they were collecting dust. So I put them inside of an ottoman that I have in the main hallway. And I'm going to get a book, and I'm going to put all of the beautiful cards that I've received over the years into that a book, so I can, you know, a memory book, scrapbook or something like that, so I can have all of those things together because they mean so much to me. One year for my birthday, my son and my future daughter-in-law bought me a big, huge card. It was huge, and it's sitting behind the door here in the tiny studio. So I wanted to take those things down because they were collecting dust, and this is the season of allergies here in Florida, and so my husband's allergies is bothering him. My asthma was starting to bother him, which is one of the reasons why I went ahead and took those curtains down, because they were very, very dusty. So this whole area needs to be done, needs to be cleaned really, really well. And you know, allergies and asthma, oh my God. So I had my crochet blankets up, and I don't know if you remember any of these blankets, but this is one. It looks like I'm not finished with this one. Yeah, it looks like it still needs to be worked on. So here's a blanket. So this was, oh, see all that dust? Why did I do that? But anyhow, this was a blanket that was sitting up there, all that dust. And that dust is really not good, because it you know, it degrades the fabric. Here's another blanket that I finished. This is a completed blanket. I showcased it before here in the tiny studio. Please, Nell, do not wave it in the air. Okay, this blanket. I'm not going to wave all of that dust in the air. But my two favorite blankets are this one, because it's so colorful. Oh my God, I love this blanket. Oh, I just gotta pick it up for you guys to see it. Oh, this is one of my favorite blankets that I've made. Oh, I love this blanket. It's just so colorful. And then it consists of my scrap pieces of yarn from other projects. So this is a really good one. I love this one. And another favorite is this particular blanket that has, and see, it has dust all over it. Oh my God. This blanket is and all of these are granny square blankets. What I really love about this blanket is it's not just a granny square blanket, but I attach flowers to it. There's one. Here's some more. You can see it's dust on it. And then some more flowers. So I really love these blankets. They're beautiful. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find another place for them. I am drinking water today. Yes, as you might recognize what this is. This was my water container, excuse me. This was my water container from the hospital. And you know what? Let me put my phone on silent, because, you know, I really value our time together. So I don't want to interrupt that. So I've been drinking water because, as I told you before, I was taking medication that was causing me to become dehydrated. Very much so. And my kidneys were not doing well because of me not having enough water to help them to function. So I've been keeping my water handy. No, it's not a Stanley cup. It's one of the precursors to the Stanley cups. A hospital pitcher. And it keeps my water nice and cold. I got paint on it. But it keeps everything nice and cold, just like a Stanley cup. Yes, it does. But anyhow, what did I want to talk to you about today besides all of that? I was in a Facebook group, and I'm in a lot of Facebook groups. Like, I'm in a lot of Facebook groups for various topics. So I'm in a Facebook group for black people who want to repatriate or move abroad. Or I'm in groups where people, black people who want to move to like Africa. So I'm in groups like that. I'm in a ton of crochet groups, yes. And I'm also in, I'm in a lot of groups. I'm also in a group that for, therapists, black therapists. I'm in that group. I'm in a lot of groups. But this one group that I'm in is for black women. And it's I thought it was a really good group. I didn't have anything against them. I don't have anything against them. And I post or comment in this particular group from time to time. However, and I'm currently working on a scarf for the boutique. My online boutique is called Blue Lotus Hill Designs. So this is the makings of the third. I was thinking, I'm thinking faster than I'm speaking. This is the makings of the second scarf that's going to go into the boutique. So I've semi-completed the first one, which is the ivory scarf. Let me see if I can show it to you. This is my project bag, one of many. Okay. This is the ivory scarf that I'm working on. And I just ran out of yarn, so I need to order some more. And I have 2 more rolls to go for this scarf, and then it will be completed. And I have an idea of a design this season for this particular scarf, and we will see how it goes. I better stick this all the way in here. I see some water must have spilled on it. I better make sure that it does not get on the fabric. Oh yes. Oh my, what is that? Spilled on here. Shoot, I'm gonna have to take all the yarn out. I have to take all the yarn out of this bag because it looks like something spilled on it. And I had it on the side of my bed in my bedroom. So I'm trying to think, what did I have over there? You see that? I'm trying, let me smell it. What does that smell like? Yes, I do. When I investigate, I do smell. It smells like, let me smell the bag. Okay, that's the bag. But what is this? I'm going to have to figure this out. But now I'm glad that I looked in here and I saw this because I just showed you the ivory scarf, right? Oh my God. And it looked like it bled into the fabric of the bag. So, shoot. This is going to have to go in the wash. I'm not going to be able to use this as a project bag until I figure that out. Thank God I just happened to look through this bag, right? Because that would have been a disaster if I had looked at this scarf. And it is a disaster. Oh my God. Look. Can you see that? So it did get onto the scarf. So I'm going to have to try to figure that out. It doesn't look like to be a lot. So I can get something and clean it. That's only in, seemed like it only got onto that part of the scarf. Anyhow, I will have to clean that. And these are basically the prototypes of the scarves that I'll be selling, because what I will be doing is I will be letting customers know what colors that the scarves will come in, and these will be the prototypes, so you'll get a chance to see the style of the scarf. And then I'll purchase the yarn, or I already have the colors basically already lined up that I already have in my stash. So I already have black, I have gray, I have wool, I have I should say gray wool, gray wool yarn. I have ivory alpaca yarn. So I'll be letting you guys know what colors I have, and what colors that I'll be making these scarves in. But these are basically the prototypes. So this is one. And let's see. And this is the second. So I started working on this last night. So I think I'm going to continue as I speak with you. But anyhow, what was I saying? Oh, I was telling you about the groups. So I'm in as well as not just the crochet groups, the black people moving abroad. I'm not just in those groups, but I'm also in, did I already say crochet groups? But I am also in groups for black women, for and by black women. And the other day there was a conversation, and this conversation always starts with a repost from somewhere else, and then everyone comments on it. But usually I've noticed within the last few months or so that the posts are becoming more and more negative towards black men. And the consensus is within the group from these black women is that black men, are a lost cause. That black men are just, there's no hope for black women in dating and mating, with black men. That black men are basically, dogs, ridiculous, users, abusers, all of that stuff. And, I see those things, and, I look at it, and then I just keep it moving. You just scroll by. If I comment on something I feel is worthwhile to comment on. The other, stupid stuff, I really don't have time for it, so I don't comment on it. And so I was, I just happened to be scrolling along, and I came across this post where it was something that a Nigerian gentleman wrote. And he was saying he had like maybe 10 or so tips for women to be able to find a mate. And I thought they were very interesting tips. And as a matter of fact, I agreed with, it's about 10 of them. I agreed with about 8 of them. 8 of the tips that he gave. And he gave some really good tips. Like he said, establish a relationship with your father or your brothers, because what a good man is going to be looking at, he's going to be looking at how you treat the men in your life, what type of relationship you have with the men in your life. If you have a problematic or traumatic relationship with the men in your life, your father, your brother, your grandfather, something, like that, then that can mirror or represent what type of relationship that you as a black woman may have with a potential suitor, black guy. I agree with that. He said that if you have any trauma in your past, you need to reconcile those feelings with your past and your trauma, because you don't want to carry that into your relationship with, a black man. That's true. I didn't see anything wrong with that. He also talked about how the way, black women should, seek to carry themselves. You carry yourself as a polished, mature woman, as a woman. If, carry yourself as a woman, the thing that you're seeking in a man, you should be reflecting within yourself, right? Yes, I agree with that. It was several other things. He talked about having a relationship with God, how that's important. If you call yourself a God-fearing woman, practice what you preach. He had several things on the list that I felt were not problematic. Now, usually when you see these type of lists floating around the internet or social media, it's usually, the lists are really not cool. From what I've seen, is the list that some men put on the internet that, supposedly tips for black women are just, problematic across the board. They are, infuriating and, belittling. And what happens is that they want to place the blame for the so-called demise of the black family upon the shoulders of the black woman, which we all know that's not true. So, don't we? So anyhow, that is what the tips were. And I thought that, he said if you are doing the things that, the things that make yourself attractive to the type of man that you want to attract, then you should not have a problem with finding the man that you want to be with. And, like I said, when it comes to social media and tips on how to do this and that and the other, I usually have read it with a grain of salt. But I felt that this guy, that what he was saying was spot on, in my opinion, truly spot on. And I said that. Why did I say that? Why did I say that? Because the sisters in the group started attacking me. And they were saying, well, who has time to sit back and do all of those things? No, who has time to sit back and, curate a home that's comfortable, that's reflective of a woman's personality, refine your character, heal any past wounds from other relationships, carry yourself in a way that, will attract the man that you want. Oh, the women were actually saying in the group, who has time to do all of those things? I don't have time to do all of that. Who has time to do that? And, it would be a black man trying to tell a black woman what to do. And, blah, 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 blah. And I, of course, I commented that I thought the tips were great, because these are the same things that my mother, grandmother, and great grandmother said to me. So the women told me up. They told your girl Nell up. And I'm like, dang, really? Oh my God. I didn't see anything wrong with that. And then the sister who created the group, she said that most black men, though, do not appreciate women like that. And oh no, this is in my comment. I said that I believe that there are still great black men out here who are looking for great black women. I don't think that looking for a black man is a lost cause. I exhibited most of those qualities, not all of them, but I exhibited most of those things that he had on the list. And I was able to acquire a husband. I had relationships prior to my husband that were decent relationships. They didn't end in marriage, of course. But, you know, I dated my husband for 3 months and then he proposed and we got married within 6 months of being together. So it was like, and now we've been together for 35 years. So, you know, there are good men out here. You know, I also said, I have sons that are really good men that treat women, black women, with respect. My son, my 28-year-old, is engaged, proposed to his fiance, another beautiful young black woman in Cabo, Mexico. You know, it's a destination proposal. So there are black men out here who are not trifling, who are not users, who are not out to play games or players or, you know, stuff like that. There are black men out here who really want to have families and create something special with a black woman. That's what I said. And then the young lady said to me, after the other young ladies tore me up, then the person who is the administrator over the group, she was saying that, you know, my situation is an isolated situation, but the majority of black women cannot find good black men. That's what she said. And she said black men, available black men, or the black men who make themselves available, aren't worth 2 cents. And then someone else chimed in, that's why you have to keep your options open and date other besides black men, because, you know, dating black men is a, you know, like I said, a lost cause. So I just listened. I read and I listened. And it made me wonder, though. It made me wonder if maybe, being that I've been married for so long, maybe, and that I am a woman of a certain age, what generation am I? I'm a Generation X. I'm a Gen Xer. Maybe this generation, but there were quite a few Gen Xers in the group, and these Gen Xers also attacked me. But I was thinking that maybe, being that I've been married for so long, that maybe I haven't had my pulse on what is actually happening culturally with black men and black women on the dating scene. But when I see different things on social media, I see the chasm that has opened up as far as how black women and black men see one another. And I often wonder if a lot of the so-called red pill groups, if that has become the poison arrow that has crippled the relationship between black men and black women. I don't believe that all black men, that it's a lost cause in dating black men. I don't believe that. I will never believe that. When I hear women say, well, you know, there's not a lot of black men out here, there's not enough inventory of black men out in the world for good black women. That may be true. That part may be true, but I don't believe that as far as within that inventory that there aren't any good mateable, marriage material black men. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a minute. I believe that they're there, but I also believe that a lot of times we as black women, okay, we as black women don't know how to find them. And then when we do run across a really good black man, we sabotage it because we don't know any better. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but those are my thoughts on that. And so when I was in this group, as I continued looking at some of the topics within the group, it really peaked when I was attacked. And when I say when I was attacked, I don't mean that it was in a negative, ferocious way. What I mean is I was like challenged on my views. And it was a good conversation, but the one girl told me that, you know, she felt that I was playing dumb to the fact that there's a shortage of black men, and within that shortage of black men, there's a shortage of good, responsible, marriageable black men. She told me that I was playing dumb or acting dumb about that. And I wasn't, but what I was saying is that what you cannot do as a woman is make a blanket statement about black men, and because of your own failed experiences, you can't make a blanket statement about the status or the eligibility of a group of people, in this case black men. You just can't do that. And which is what I felt like the group was doing in general. And then what piqued my interest, I started going back and looking at some of the posts, and then I realized that, you know, perhaps I might have to reassess how I feel about being a part of the group, because I'm married to a black man. I've given birth to black sons. I'm married to a black man, giving birth to black boys who have become black men. I have brothers who are good black men. As a matter of fact, I have 3 brothers, and all 3 of my brothers are married to beautiful, educated black women. So I'm confused. When women start bashing black men, you know, and say I can't find one, I'm looking at my sons, I'm looking at, you know, my cousins, I'm looking at, you know, my brothers, and I find that they have beautiful black women on their arm. So my question is, if these women have found themselves a black man, then obviously there are black men out here. You just don't know where to pick one up at. And when you do happen across one, all right, you sabotage it, or you shoot yourself in the foot, and that's why you don't have one. I mean, how should I say that? Am I being judgmental about this? Am I being, I don't know, am I being judgmental, Tiny Studio guest? I don't know. But, I might have to reassess my feelings about the group, because I don't want to be a part of something where I feel unaligned with. You know, I feel that our views are no longer aligned, and I might have to exit stage left. Okay, and I'm not trying to say that when I was single, I didn't come across jerks, assholes. That's not what I'm trying to say either. I mean, I've dated Middle Eastern men, I've dated white men, and of course, I dated and married a black man. And in between those, you know, I have dealt with assholes, jerks, users. I've had a boyfriend who was addicted to crack. You have to if you want me to talk about that one day, I could tell you about that story. I wonder if I have already. I probably did. But I had a boyfriend that was addicted to crack. Man. Yep, I sure did. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Yep. And so that's why I feel I can say, and in between those guys, I met good guys. In between, dating, jerks and losers and, like I said, assholes and druggies, street pharmaceutical entrepreneurs, players, cheaters. And, apart from dating all of them, I did date some really good guys too. I did. I dated some guys that really, really dug me, that were really into me, and they came from all walks of life. They were, either, grad students, teachers. One guy I dated, he was a real estate guy on the side, but he drove a city bus. Let me see. Did I say teacher? Yeah, teacher. I've dated a musician. I dated several musicians. I'm a Sagittarius. And let me see. I've dated an artist. I've dated a lot. And the relationships, they were good relationships until they weren't. And it really had to do, the really good relationships that I had, that where the guys were just really into me, they were always a little bit older than I. And they were ready to settle down and do some things. And your girl, I wasn't there yet. Maybe I'll talk about that in a continuing vlog about relationships, but I wasn't there yet. But anyhow, I think I'll talk about that in the next vlog. What you think about it? I'll talk about, a continuation of black men. Are black men really all that bad? But anyhow, here I am working on my scarf. And this is on I started with a foundational double crochet row, which consists of the foundation row and the foundation row and the second row. And so then you start, after you make your foundational chain, which consists of 2 rows, the foundation and the first row, and then the next row you begin your pattern, which will be on the 3rd row. So this is the scarf. Yay, I'm so happy to be making scarves again. I haven't had any requests yet, but I'll be hitting up some of my previous customers and sending them emails out to let them know what I'm doing here in the tiny studio, and if they would like to, have something specific they would like for me to crochet for them this winter, to let me know, and we can, get that going, right? Get my orders going. But anyhow, I'm going to hop off the line here, and you can catch me tomorrow as we continue this discussion about black men? Are there any good black men for black women? What do you think about that? I think that's a good conversation. I'm just crocheting right now. All right, well, I'm going to hop off the line and I will talk to you later. Listen, please make sure that you like and that you subscribe to Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. Also, consider becoming a member, a sustainable member of the channel. I would appreciate that. And I'm believing, I've marked down on my calendar that I'm going to start adding videos to the membership, to the subscriber group. So if you would like, not subscribers, because you are subscribers, but to the membership group. So there'll be different videos on the membership part of this channel. But thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who liked and subscribed. Thank you to everyone that comment on this, on my videos. Thank you so much for participating with me and hanging there in there with me. Thank you for all the well wishes that was sent to me while I was in the hospital. I really appreciate that. I'm going to get off the line and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.